In my junior year of high school, this guy asked me on a date. He rented a Redbox movie and made me a pizza. We were watching the movie and the oven beeped, so the pizza was done. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "This is the worst part." Then I watched this boy open the oven and pull the pizza out with his bare hands, rack and all, screaming at the top of his lungs. Safe to say we never had a second date.
Welcome to the Discovering the World podcast. If you haven't heard, we have rebranded. This is the first episode of the rebrand.
Now, before we start our episode of fun, scary, or interesting Reddit stories, we would like to address something.
Now, as you may know, we really avoid talking about politics on the podcast, but due to recent events, we feel it is important for us to speak out.
Both of us at the Discovering the World podcast would like to say that the recent actions of ICE and the Trump administrations have been horrible.
We do not support either, so let it be known that the podcast and both of us are very anti-ICE and anti-Trump.
In conclusion, ICE, Trump, and stop around with our rights.
Now that we have gotten that out of the way, here is a Reddit story. My childhood friend was about 15 and home alone after a long weekend while his parents were traveling. But on Saturday night, around 7 to 8 p.m., he was in his bedroom upstairs when he suddenly heard his mom call up the stairs to come get dinner. He popped his head out of his room, confused as frick, but no one was there. So he called back down. "Mom, are you home already?" There was a long beat, but then after a few seconds, his mom walked slowly around the corner where the kitchen was and looked straight up at him from the bottom of the steps. She just smiled and then walked right back down into the kitchen. My friend was frozen in place for a moment, but then again, he heard her call him to come get dinner. He said the only reason he didn't just walk down those stairs to see what the crap was going on and why she was home so early was because he thought it was strange that she didn't talk or utter a single word when she appeared. Like, why did she just smile at him and then walk away? That just didn't sit right. The fact he never saw her open her mouth. He could hear her and he could see her, both plain as day, but never at the same time. And that smallest of details is why he chose instead to slam his door shut, locking it, and call his mom. She answered immediately and was still several states over, hundreds of miles away. They ended up calling the police for fear of an intruder or something, but they never found anyone in the house. It was all locked up and the security system on and everything. He did not sleep there anymore after that.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't think even after my mom came home, I would step into that house again.
Okay.
All right.
Your turn.
All right. A Redditor's Nightmare. Posted by Ghostly Adventure. One Reddit user shared a chilling experience about staying in a hotel room that seemed too good to be true, until things started happening. As they settled in for the night, they heard whispers coming from the corner of the room, followed by the unmistakable sound of furniture moving on its own. The rest of the night included disturbing visions of a woman in the mirror, but the real shock came the next morning when they discovered a hidden, sealed door behind the bed that led to an abandoned part of the hotel.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I feel like
sad.
sometimes Reddit stories are like really good until like they end and then you're like,
And then she was like, "Surprise! It's over."
surprise, that's it. We didn't want to tell you anything else. And like, oh, I really want to like hear the end of it. Like it's
I know,
important to
like I
me.
want to know what happened when
Yeah.
she went in there.
Okay. Anyway, my next one is called "My Mom Never Really Recovered from It," and it was posted by Wine Country Girl. Now, I don't remember this, but my mom does very vividly, as you can imagine. When I was 3, she and her friends were getting ready to go out to the bar in the next city over. My mom, being super young when she had me, was often out on the weekends with friends, so this wasn't unusual at all. However, on this night, I, as a usually super well-mannered kid, threw the biggest tantrum of my life, screaming at the top of my lungs, throwing myself around, throwing things, etc., because she was leaving. She was super mad because she couldn't leave me like that with the babysitter, especially since she felt something was wrong because this was very unlike me as a child. Her friends left and she stayed home with me, still pretty pissed off at toddler me. The next morning, she and I walked to my grandma's house to use the phone. No cell phones yet. She called her friend's house to hear about the night, and her friend's mom answers. They had been trying to get a hold of my mom all night as there was a horrific car accident. All of my mom's friends, except for the driver, had passed away. Had she gone, there was no way she would have survived in the car. Still haunts me to think about to this day. My mom never really recovered from it.
I don't think I would.
That's like, it's like a different level of scary. I don't feel like that there is anything that's like scarier than that. Like that's actually
Yeah.
something that somebody would be afraid of. And like,
It's genuinely one of my worst fears. Like I always think about like, oh, what might happen? What could happen? And it happened.
yeah,
It's terrible. Fine. Do you have stories to tell?
have you heard a good Reddit story recently?
Submit it on our website and it might be featured on the next volume of Discovering the World of Stories.
I think that's the first real ad we have ever had.
Yeah, well, this is your second reminder of our rebranding. Our name is now Discovering the World.
Along with that, we are now having a competition between all of our listeners. The first person to comment on each episode will get a shout out in the next episode. So that means that there are actually 2 places in the running, YouTube and Spotify. So the first person in each of those will get a shout out in the next episode.
Along with that, if you get one of your friends to follow us on Instagram and on Spotify, have them DM us saying that you sent them, and you will then be followed by the podcast and get a shout out.
And lastly, if you send us a screenshot giving us a 5-star rating on Spotify, or if you share something from the podcast on your Instagram story, we will add your name to our list of supporters on the website, which is a really cool area of the website.
And it's basically bribing.
Yeah, the rest of your life.
That's bragging rights. We're bribing you. Being like,
We're
hey,
bribing you and also bragging rights for the rest of your life, just so you're aware.
It's great.
Yeah.
There are different tiers that we will place you in on the website based on what you do.
Yeah, so if you do more, we'll put you in like a higher tier, but if you just do like one thing, you'll find out. For more information, you can check out the website.
And it's going to be great.
Yeah, which now our website is discoveringtheworld.org.
It's great.
It's so cool now. And our Instagram
It's Discovering the World Pod.
Yeah, Discovering the World Pod, no space, all
This
lowercase.
is a weirdo.
Yeah, because I designed that. And okay, it's Jasper's turn for a life update.
Great. College, and graduation is all I really am focusing on now. Because nobody answers quick enough, so I've like applied to so many different places, and I'm like, oh, are they gonna get back? So all I'm working on is college, and then shows, and trying to keep a job while trying to go into the theater field, which is definitely not a good line of work for whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways,
I've just been trying to find a job with like stable pay, which is like a real struggle nowadays. If you guys haven't noticed, there aren't very many jobs out there.
Well, there are so
And
many
if
jobs.
they are, they just don't want to fill them, and that's cool.
Yeah, they like. I love when people complain. They're like, "Your generation never wants to work. Your generation never hires us."
Yeah.
Just saying.
And I got pissed off at a college earlier this week because they kept texting and calling me at the exact same time every single day. And I am waiting for a response from BYU, and then I will actually be making my decisions toward colleges. And I have that college that kept contacting me, and I was like, if you keep doing that, I'm gonna block you. So I told them off, and they are going to wait until after BYU responds, and then I'll start hearing from them again, and I'm going to cancel my meeting with them and block them because they don't have my major or my minor. and that concludes the life update.
Am I the a-hole for not allowing my ex to see my sonogram photos of his child? I dated my ex for 2 years. During that time, our relationship was very difficult. One weekend, he was mad at me because he thought a man was trying to flirt with me when we were at the store. So he refused to speak to me the entire weekend. We did not live together full time. That Saturday, I found that I was expecting, but also losing said expectation at the same time. I tried to call him from the hospital, and he ignored my call. So, my best friend called him, and he did answer for her. She told him what was going on. She lives out of state. He didn't reach out to me or come to the hospital. I did not hear from him until the following Tuesday. Needless to say, I never got over that and we broke up shortly thereafter. He never apologized and said that the problem took care of itself. Now, a year later, he reached out and wants to see the sonogram photos and talk to me about what happened at the hospital. I politely declined and told him that due to his actions that weekend, he did not deserve any further information or to see the photos. He flipped out and called me every name in the book. So I must ask, am I the a-hole?
No! That story, like, when you first read that to me, I was like, no?
Because you were kind of like half listening the first time, and then you fully listened.
Got to the end, and I was like, what the crap?
I cannot believe a guy like actually looked at her and said the problem took care of itself. What? What? You never say that to a woman, especially after she lost a child. It took care of itself. And I'm about to take care of you, sir, if you keep going.
Gosh, so bad.
That's so bad. All right, now time for Bo's story.
So the title of this next story is "They Bought a Body Spray in the Same Scent as a Room Spray," and it was put on Reddit by Pumpkin Pie 1993. I just love Reddit names.
Reddit names are so dumb and they're so funny.
It's like weird childhood emails that you just have for the rest of your life.
My childhood email wasn't actually that bad. I take that back. I actually had one in childhood.
Yeah, my email is pretty funny, which is why now my email is my full name. Several months ago, I purchased a new body spray in the scent Vanilla Romance. There was a sale, and on a whim, I purchased a small room spray in the same scent. I came home, stuck the body spray in the cabinet for when my current one ran out, and placed the room spray in the bathroom without too much thought. I feel like this is Bath and Body Works. Like,
oh, it is.
I want to find these scents now and see what they smell like. For the past several months, both my husband and I have used the room spray pretty much exclusively only after we poop. It's become a joke. Like, if we hear the spray go off, we will tease each other. It's just normal married couple stuff. Well, today I finally ran out of my old body spray and broke out the new one, Vanilla Romance. I spritzed it all over myself right before we left for dinner. Immediately upon getting within vicinity of my husband, he turns to me and with a grin and says, "Oh, so that's why we're going to be late, Miss Poopy Pants." He would not believe me when I told him I was not, in fact, using the restroom. So yeah, trained my husband into associating Vanilla Romance with literal poop. Now I need a new perfume.
Champagne toast. Good about the middle. It's great tonight.
Yeah,
that's
or
horrible.
Coffee, Vanilla Cafe.
Vanilla Cafe is so good. And
that one's my Paris Cafe is a good candle, but they only have it in a candle.
Oh, yeah. That's
my
so
signature
dumb.
scent is either Noir, or which is the men's vanilla, or vanilla. Yeah, Vanilla Cafe.
Yes.
I love Vanilla Cafe. It's so
They're
good.
so good. They're so good.
So good. Oh my
That's
gosh.
tragic. I would actually cry if a man was like, "Oh, Miss Poopy Pants was what?
You poopy.
Poopy, shut up!" And I'm the a-hole for reacting badly to my friend's religious remark at a funeral. My friend came to the funeral for my mom, who died of cancer around Christmas time. She came over to me to give her condolences and asked about the details of how my mom passed. I told her it was my mom's second battle with cancer and how she had lots of complications. She said, "I'm so glad nothing like that has ever happened to me or my family. We're blessed and highly favored. God doesn't play about us." This made me extremely angry. I said, "Glad to know your God plays about my family and all other people in the world dying of cancer." I caused a scene and got really upset. She and her family said I'm wrong for attacking somebody just being kind and offering their condolences. And that's probably why God didn't look after my mom. I said I want them gone from the funeral. Since then, I haven't spoken to them or any of the people defending them. Am I the a-hole? I think you honestly kept your cool more than I would have in that situation. I probably would have picked up a chair and thrown it.
I don't know. There were also children there, so I think you could also pick up a child and throw them.
I'll pick up a 3-year-old and say, "Here, claw their eyes out."
Go, have fun.
Go.
Good luck.
I can't even fathom going up to somebody and saying that.
Yeah. That is,
that's like astronomically stupid, and I'm just like,
we can't decide how there's any way that you could be the a-hole. Like,
there's not.
I'm just seeing issues here.
I'm just seeing issues with the person who said this and came up to you. God doesn't play around like that with my family.
God prefers
I feel like
us. Like, I feel like that's how that feels.
That is how that feels. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Discovering the World podcast.
Please join us next time.
Be sure to check us out on Instagram at
Discovering the World Pod, no spaces. And visit our website, which is now www.discoveringtheworld.org.
Thank you for joining us this time.
We can't wait to have you next time.
Bye.
Bye.